Yes, he's done it. Lando's done it. Now, I know I said last week that Adrian Newey leaving Red Bull was going to be disastrous for Red Bull, but I didn't expect it to happen this quick. Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video, and yes, Lando Norris has done it. He has finally won a race, and the king has finally lost his crown. The King Verstappen has had to give way to Lando Norris, and it's absolutely fantastic. Now, I did my usual. I fell asleep after 10 minutes into the race. I woke up about another 10 minutes later and I saw Lando Norris was in the lead, and I swear I thought I'd fallen into the Matrix, because I was like, how the hell did that happen? So I had to rewind and go back to see exactly what happened. Now, yes, of course, the safety car was a huge factor in Lando Norris winning, but let's not take away from the fact that the person who crosses the line in front is the winner. Yes, he is the winner, so well done to Lando Norris. And let's not forget that Max Verstappen could not catch Lando. Now, of course, Max has looked a little bit off all weekend. In fact, I have to say last year as well at Miami, he didn't look at one with the car. So he really wasn't at his best, but still, he didn't manage to get behind Lando in the DRS zone and managed to overtake him. And in the end, the lead was 7.2 seconds. Yes, 7.2. Fantastic. It really was. 7.2 seconds. So well done to Lando Norris. Of course, I'm British, so I'm not biased whatsoever. But yes, what a result. And finally, someone else that isn't a Red Bull. Yes, someone else isn't Red Bull. Anyway, there's lots of news to get through in about 10 minutes, so I've got to really sort of condense it down. So anyway, the race was a pretty average, I would say, 6 out of 10. Nothing really that exciting going on. Of course, then we had the safety car, which was very exciting. Now, unfortunately, I think it was Burt Myland. Is he still the safety car driver? He didn't actually manage to pick up Lando Norris, so there was a little bit of confusion there, and had to let the other cars go through until Lando Norris caught up. But then it was go, go, go once again for the restart of the race. And as I say, Lando was just gone, and Max had no answer. Now, Max was complaining about the hard tyres not being very good. Yeah. We know all about that. But at the end of the day, Lando Norris won the race fair and square. So, yes, fantastic result for Lando Norris. It's just great. It's just great to see. And I hope now we get a tiny little bit more interest in Formula 1 again. Just a tiny bit. We all know it's going to go back to normal in the next race. But just for this one, let's savour the fact that Lando Norris has won his first race. Don't forget, his first race in Formula 1. Fantastic. Anyway, McLaren have been in a little bit of hot water due to the fact that this guy was in the pit lane at McLaren. Yes, ex-President Donald Trump. Now, this was bound to happen. Donald Trump is a businessman. Zach Brown is also a businessman. Donald Trump is American. Zach Brown is also American. But one thing they won't have in common is that only one of them will be picking up the soap in jail come this September. So, well done, Zach. Well done indeed. Yes, so McLaren are a little bit of hot water because they invited the ex-president to the McLaren hospitality, I have to call it, yes. And actually, if you look on the post on their Instagram, it's pretty horrendous in the comments, with lots of people saying they are now going to be boycotting McLaren in the future. Yes, so a little bit of hot water there. It's been seen that during the Sunday, the Miami Grand Prix weekend, former US President Donald Trump's visit to the McLaren team garage drew significant attention and controversy. McLaren has since issued a statement clarifying their position, emphasising their non-political nature, yeah, right, while respecting the presidential office. Yes. The paddocks of Formula 1 are often met by dignitaries and celebrities, but it's not every day that a figure as polarising as former President Donald Trump makes an appearance during the Miami Grand Prix. Trump's visit to the McLaren garage stirred up more than just the Florida heat. Amidst the backdrop of his ongoing legal challenges, the visit was seen by some as controversial, prompting McLaren to defend the decision to welcome him. So, the statement from McLaren says, McLaren is a non-political organisation. However, we recognise and respect the office of the President of the United States. But he's not in the office of the President of the United States. I don't understand that whatsoever. No. So when the request was made to visit our garage on race day, we accepted alongside the President of the FIA and the CEOs of Liberty Media and Formula One. We were honoured that McLaren Racing was chosen as a representative of F1, which gave us the opportunity to showcase the world-class engineering that we bring to motorsport. After that, it should read, this was written by a lawyer, la 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 la. Yes, because that's definitely 100% lawyer speak. Yes. Now, apparently, Stefano De Montecarli was there, and Stefano De Montecarli, at the moment, is in my shit books. Yes, in my shit books, because he has said a couple of days ago he rules out efforts to stop one-team dominance, and he actually says that for the average viewer, that's you and me, yes, you and me, we're not really that bothered about dominance in Formula One, and personally, I think that's a complete and utter load of bollocks. Now, Stefano De Montecarli, as everyone remembers, was the Ferrari team boss who really dragged Ferrari up into quite possibly the 21st century, because some of their methods were quite Dickensian in nature back in the day, but they really dragged them up into a really competitive team, and has to be said, a team that's really going well these days. But some of the things he comes out with, I mean, he's going into Damon Hill territory. Damon Hill was someone that I admired, respected, and really followed for a very long time during his F1 campaign. But I've seen posts from him on Twitter these past few years, and I can't agree with some of the things that he says. And Stefano De Montecarli seems to be going down the route of Damon Hill as well in some of the things that he says. Of course, the average viewer, that's you and me, is concerned about dominance. Now, of course, we've had dominance before in the sport. We've had Williams, we've had Ferrari, and of course, we've had Mercedes. But we haven't had dominance of this level. I'm going back to 2023 and 2022 to a greater extent. It hasn't been this dominating. But Stefano De Montecarli sort of, I think he's got blinkers on and saying, well, no, it's okay. No, it isn't okay. If you just look at the statistics and see how popular Formula One is right now compared to how it was 2 years ago, I guarantee you will see a 50% drop off. A 50% drop off, because people just can't be bothered to get any enthusiasm for the races when they pretty much know before the race even starts who's going to win it. So no, I don't agree with that. I think dominance, as I've said before, is very bad for any sport, and especially Formula One. Now, of course, the wily old fox, Mr. Bernie Ecclestone, always had a few tricks up his sleeve when it looked like some teams were going to dominate. But unfortunately, Bernie is no longer there anymore, and it looks like that the people in charge now, you've got, of course, De Montecarli, and you've got Mohammed Ben as well. He's there, in charge. They just don't seem to get the message that Formula One needs a few changes. Otherwise, people are just going to nod off. And the more people nod off, that means there's going to be less viewers year on year on year. They're already struggling now. And you can see definitely this has been reflected in the TV coverage. Because if you look at Sky's coverage and then you look at Channel 4's coverage as well, they've started broadcasting from studios in England because they thought to themselves, why spend all that money flying so many people out there when we can just film it from a studio and just send like 3 or 4 people out there instead of the usual entourage of about 12 or 16. So that's because they're trying to save money, because they know they're not going to get, because obviously, TV broadcast rights are only dependent on, people watching. The less people that are watching, that's the less money for the TV that comes in. So obviously they're trying to cut back and save money themselves. And, this is reflected in how popular Formula One is. And it has to be said, at the moment, it's not very popular at all. So, yeah, I don't agree with what Stefano De Montecarli said about dominance. I do believe it does need addressing. Formula One CEO Stefano De Montecarli is adamant Max Verstappen's continued domination of the sport will not impact its popularity in the United States. What about us, Stefano? Europe. and has ruled out a WWE-style intervention to mix up the order. In the past 5 years, F1 has experienced rapid growth in the US, with average television viewing figures more than doubling between 2018 and 2023. They haven't got 2024 so far, though, have they? No. And of course it's going to rapidly grow in the US when you're promoting it so much in the US. When Liberty Media are a US company, of course it's going to grow, isn't it? I'd like to see what the viewing figures are in Europe right now, because I can guarantee you they're very, very much down than what they have been. The lack of competition has led to concerns that American fans might switch off, but Dominicali argued the opposite in an interview with ESPN. I tell you why, because we need to create legends in all sports, Dominicali said. If you change too many winners, people do not capture the significance of being so strong. And the element of being strong has always been a part of Formula One. It is a cyclinical sport when it comes to success. In the US, you have, for many years, the same team or same athlete winning, and then you have iconic players and iconic teams. So for that, I don't think it is a negative. For sure, if you ask me my personal opinion, I would like to have exciting action on the track, and this is happening. Oh, Stefano. Really? For now, Max is the strongest with the best car for sure, but I'm not so worried about it because it is part of the nature of the sport. So there you go. No changes for F1 in the future. They're just going to let it run and run and run until it runs itself into the ground. Yes. Now also, my favourite, Bianca Bustamante has been splashed all over the news, the sports programs, the F1 coverage. Why, I don't know, apart from the fact, of course, she is working for McLaren. But I don't get it, because Abby Pullins is absolutely pissing all over her in the F1 Academy. And how much coverage has Abby Pullins got? Absolutely bloody zero. Because once again, in the case of females in motorsport, it's only if you're attractive that anyone actually notices you. Yes, talent is not a prerequisite of success. And that is definitely the case in Bianchi, Buster, whatever her bloody name is. I can't even remember now. But yes, and that's just the way it goes, unfortunately. Yes, if you're attractive, you will get further in certain areas, but you certainly won't get any further in the sport, because you can only do that by showing what you can do. And she's just no. She was at the EA event in Miami, if you've seen that video on their YouTube channel. And she's just been all over the news articles. I've seen several news stations reporting Bianca Bustamante over the weekend at Miami. It's just been absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Because there's just one thing that people are forgetting, and that is that she really hasn't got much talent. No talent. No talent whatsoever. But, as I say, is she winning the F1 Academy? No. Not by a long shot. No. Abby Pullins is doing very well in it. Very well indeed. But where's her coverage? Absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. And do you know why? I'll tell you why. Because she doesn't look as attractive as Bianca Bustamante. That's why. That's why there's no coverage. Yes, I'm sorry, but that is the cold, hard truth and the facts of the matter. It's because she's not as attractive as Bianca Bustamante, so she won't get the coverage. That's it. That's it. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. So there we go. There was the Grand Prix from Miami. Great win for Lando Norris. Almost forgot his name then. Yes, a fantastic result. Finally, someone else. So let me know in the comments what you thought about the Miami Grand Prix, and whether you are ecstatic about Lando Norris winning his first ever race, or whether you just Can't be bothered. Can't be bothered. I did notice that I didn't see much about it all over the news. I mean, I managed to avoid it because the race was on at some ridiculous time, like 1:30 in the morning in England. And I had to watch it then because I only get the highlights, and it was like nearly 2 o'clock in the morning before I actually watched the race. It's ridiculous time to put it on. But there you go. And but as I say, great result for Lando Norris. Well done to you. Well done to you indeed. And hopefully this is the start of something new. Yes, and hopefully there'll be some more wins, because you know what happens once you get that drive, once you get past that first hurdle of winning, then success starts to come to you even more. So let's hope that's what happens with Lando Norris. Yes, Lando Norris. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. You have been awesome, as always. Let me know in the comments what you think about the whole situation. Tell me what you think about Donald Trump being with McLaren and Bianca Bustamante. Just anything you want. Just type it in the comments, because as you know, I always read every single comment. And I also reply to every single comment that I actually managed to read, because sometimes YouTube won't send them to me, and I apologise, but there's nothing I can do about that. Sometimes I see comments and they won't let me reply to them. That's really annoying, but I'm sorry, nothing I can do. So if you don't get a reply from me, don't get upset and start having a go at me. Okay? If you send me a message and I see that message, I will reply to it. That's a cast iron guarantee from the Hookster and F1 Games PlayStation. Yes, it is. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, everyone. You've been awesome as always, and I'll catch you in the next video.